Welcome, everybody, to this episode of Learning to Fly. Today, I'm very, very excited. I've been waiting on this guest for a long time. Actually, this guest has been waiting on me and reminding me of it about every day. My beautiful, amazing, very talented daughter, Brooklynn Basham. Welcome to the show. Where's the applause? The crowd. Keep the noise down.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you've been on my butt about this. Ever since your brother was on the podcast.
Yeah, because he got in trouble at school, and then, let's go shoot a podcast, because you almost got in big trouble at school for
something.
Yeah, for reasons I cannot explain. But we're here.
We are
after
here.
February, March, April, May, June, July, August, 6 months.
Wow, it's been that long? Sorry.
Yeah, I've been counting.
Well, we saved the best for after. How's that? You're after. You're after your brother. So
Yeah.
Are you still salty about it?
You saved that cookie for after dinner.
Okay. I've created a monster. She's smarter than me and wittier than me, and she doesn't stop. So she reminds me a lot of me. But anyway, welcome to the show. So
Thank you.
What are some of the things you'd like to talk about? Because we won't talk about any of them. I just want to know what you want to talk about.
I mean, what do you want to talk about?
Let's start out with some stuff we do together.
Yeah.
We go on some trips, just you and I. Mm-hmm. The most, not the most recent, but my favorite one was our Taylor Swift concert in Chicago. I'd like to talk about that.
Yes.
You want to start?
Yeah.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah. We went to Chicago Night 3. It was amazing. Best concert I've ever been to. I've only been to like 2 other concerts.
Who opened?
Gracie Abrams.
And she sang what song that you and I are arguing about?
No,
yes,
she did not.
Did. Anyway. So Gracie Abrams, she's a Chicagoan.
She's originally from Chicago.
Yeah.
She's an amazing singer-songwriter, and she's one of my favorite artists, but at the time I didn't really listen to her, which makes me kind of sad because, she's such a good artist, and I didn't know who she was at the time, but now I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't know that. And I wasn't a huge Swiftie as much as I am now. Like, I don't like whenever people are, oh, you like Taylor Swift? But I'm a big Swiftie now, but whenever I went to the concert, I was not a huge Swiftie. I didn't know some of the songs, and the surprise songs, no idea what they were, but now they're my favorite songs.
Yeah.
And I'm just so sad because I didn't sing along with them, whenever it happened. Which I think is one of my biggest regrets about that concert, is not really educating myself beforehand. Because we didn't think that she was going to come to Indianapolis, but now she is.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's too expensive.
You want to know my biggest regret was not when I said just find us tickets, we'll go. Not researching how high the tickets were at the time. And old dad don't sit in the nosebleed sections. We're front and center wherever we go. So I don't want to talk about that, but we made it, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, that show, man, that was awesome. For you and I to go to Chicago alone, 2 renegades.
It's a big step for us.
Bro, I didn't know if we were going to get out of there alive. First of all, getting there is hard, right? We found our place. We got there. And it's in Soldier Field, which is awesome anyway. I've never been to Soldier Field. That place is enormous. And they're actually renovating it already, which is odd to me.
Yeah.
And the amount of people, holy smokes, the amount of people. Do you remember the guy I met at the concert?
Oh, with the same shirt as you?
So I am a Swiftie. I'm a Swiftie dad. There ain't no doubt about it. And if you're not, we probably don't like each other. And that's fine. But I found this one dude that had the same shirt that I did. Exactly. We bought it off of Etsy or something, Amazon. And I should have wore it, but hell, I probably don't fit in it anymore. But him and I took a picture together. I should probably post that sometime. And I said, dude, you and I are the coolest dads in this whole stadium. So then the concert starts. Guess who points at me and says, nice shirt? Guess who it was? I got a picture of it.
Yeah, well,
who was it?
She was actually pointing at me.
Who was it?
It was the one and only Taylor Swift.
She pointed directly at me. She says, I love your shirt. Yes, she did. Bro, I got the picture to show it. You were too short. She couldn't see you. She saw me. Anyway, that was also the time, we're going to get deep in the weeds here, where I think her and Joe Aldwin were breaking up.
Yes.
So she was kind of looking around. I was like, hey, lady, I'm a dad.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, and then Travis Kelce comes in. Whatever. He can have the leftovers. You know what I mean?
Leftovers.
But anyway, I do that whole concert.
Mm-hmm.
That concert was so long and so incredible that you and I halfway in, we were tired.
Yeah, and Taylor's still up there.
And she's rocking it. Like all 3 straight hours. Doesn't skip a beat.
Yeah, like, do you know the training that she did for it?
No, tell
like,
me.
she would run on the treadmill for the whole set list and sing at the same time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's, like, the training that she did. And, like, obviously, like, other stuff. But I'm like that stamina's insane.
That and that stage where you show, because you and I were on Instagram, we share stuff every day. We've got that relationship. But that behind the scenes on where she jumps into the stage and then she's got the underground roller coaster or whatever you call it, person mover. And it's just all orchestrated. We saw like 3 mistakes or 4 that were obvious. Mm-hmm. And you're going to have those in a live show for 3 hours. And the way that she overcomes that is like incredible.
She handles it so well.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
And sometimes it's like technical stuff or like problems with the stage or like stuff like that. But like she handles it very professionally.
Oh, yeah.
And it's very seamless. Like it's not like people like post it and it's like, oh, like this messed up, but like look at how well she handled it. And I think she has that like mentality that's like, oh, things messed up, but I'm like lucky to be here and be doing this.
Yeah.
So
you know what I like about you, love about you, is you pick up on those things. Those things are important. So social media, people, how they perceive and judge people on the daily. I know I'm getting on the weeds with my dad talks, right? But that shit's real. Mm-hmm. It is. How you handle adversity and critics and all that stuff, she does it better than anybody. Mm-hmm. I've not seen anybody handle it better than she does. Mm-hmm. She can make they make fun of her because she's got a little bit of, she's pregnant, she's this and that. Bitch, have you done what she's done?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, I'm not talking to you directly. I'm saying you haven't. So until you do, zip it and enjoy the show, man.
Yeah.
Because she deals with everything. Success. Not many people can handle success, period. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like even a little. Mm-hmm. She went from a millionaire to one of the richest people in the world overnight, within a year. Mm-hmm. That's a lot to handle. With all that comes so much criticism, so much hate, so much shit that comes with that, and she has to wade through all that. Exactly. And she does it with a smile, and she keeps winning. She keeps winning, and she keeps winning. And that, to me, is one of the best role models you can get.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not saying she's the best role model in the world. I'm saying those traits are incredible. Find me somebody better.
Yeah, not everyone.
I haven't found it.
Yeah, like not everyone is all green flags. Like people have things with them that are always good. Like people have the expectation like, oh, this person needs to be like perfect or everyone hates them, you know? And I feel like that's why not a lot of people, well, a lot of people like her, but also a lot of people don't like her. Just because of her opinions and stuff.
A lot of people hate winners, man. Mm-hmm. They hate winners.
Yeah.
People hate people that win. People hate people that love to win, you know? And that's something that I love. I love haters. Oh my gosh, I love them. I pulled an episode. I asked Jeff to pull it because I didn't like it because it wasn't passionate enough. But I love my haters, and I know she does too. I feed off of it. I need it. You know what I mean? When you're a killer, you need it. You need haters. You need adversity. You need all that stuff. And she's that way, but she does it in a way that I've never seen it. There's nobody as good as her.
Yeah.
And she's only 34. Give her another achievement to Christmas. Give her another 10 years. What's going to happen next?
Yeah. She reinvents herself really well.
She's like the current, I don't even like to say this because I'm not a huge fan of this lady, but she's like Madonna, but a million times better.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah.
Anyway, so let's tell more about that night. So when we were done with that concert, talk about that.
So our hotel that we were staying at, it was walking distance.
I mean, when we left this stadium, it was like a mob. There's just a sea of people. You're not getting a cab. You're not getting none of that, right? And our hotel was like 1.1 mile away.
Yeah, and reminder, this is in downtown Chicago, Soldier Field.
2 a.m.
Yeah, and we were walking, and there was these people on the edge of like the streets and stuff. Like, does anyone want to ride? And $100 for a 1 mile ride. So we walked, and then it was a little sketchy because it's downtown Chicago, and I was like, Dad, is this safe?
What'd I tell you? You can say it.
I don't remember.
Oh, you don't?
I don't remember what you said.
Anyway. No, it was sketchy. You got all the druggies. You got all these gangsters.
Like there was a guy yelling at someone over the phone, like, "Ah," and I'm assuming it was like a girlfriend or something. Like, "Ah, okay, love you, bye." Then hung up the phone, and I was like this isn't good.
Yeah.
But safe to say we made it home.
We did make it.
Barely
that
any
was
scratches.
an exhausting night. That was so much fun. I'll never forget that night. I'm glad we were able to do it. That was so cool.
It was a once in a lifetime experience.
Yeah. We're gonna try to go to Indy. I got to sell a kidney and a leg, and maybe my left arm to get one seat.
Sacrifice my firstborn child.
Yeah, no, but we'd like to see her again. But honestly, I'm the kind of guy that I would rather someone that hasn't been there see it before us. To be honest, I mean, I'm not. So I've been accused of being selfish. I've been accused of everything, right? But the real me would rather see somebody that hasn't seen them. If I'm being honest, if everybody's seen it, then I'll go again.
Yeah,
but,
and I personally, I'd love to see her again because that's every person's dream. But I'm good with just that because that was such a core memory. But we're also trying to see someone else right now.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
we've
Sabrina
got
Carpenter.
Oh my gosh, we got concert dates and all that stuff lined up. That's the one thing with you and I. That's different between your brother and your mom and your other sister and your other brother is we're a lot alike, which terrifies the hell out of me. It just terrifies the hell out of me. Your brother Bo and I are a lot alike too. We look alike. We're built the same. But what's cool about being a dad, and you'll learn this one day, is you get to see all of you in each of your children, right? So you're very, very beautiful, just like your mother. But the things that you like, the way you react, your mindset is just like mine. The way that you can come back at me, it's better than me, and I hate it. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I hate it. I hate it. It's like, damn, she's better. But that's what you want as a dad. You want your kids to be better than you, and that's really all I've ever wanted is for you guys to be better than me. My dad was not that way. I let Grandpa, he wasn't that way. But Uncle Johnny, he's still alive. And I tell him, I tell him every day, I'm chasing you, motherfucker. I'm fucking chasing you. And he laughs because he's a multimillionaire.
Very successful man.
Yeah. And he laughs because he knows what I mean by that. He inspires me. He inspires me like there's no tomorrow. Yeah. I'm blessed to have two uncles that are super, super successful entrepreneurs. And I chase them every day, man. I fucking chase them every day.
Yeah, because you followed in their footsteps.
Yeah.
Necessarily.
So that's what I want for you guys. I don't want you to be me. There's only one me. There's only one you, right? There's only one you. They ain't making anymore. They went out of business after they made you. They went broke. They made the best. So you gotta capitalize on that. But dang, when I see you come at me with all the, you're not afraid to tell me some tough stuff. Like you'll come in my face even when you don't want to, and you'll give me you'll tell it to me straight, which I admire that. It takes guts, especially at your age. So keep that up.
Thanks.
But don't. I'm old and feeble, so take it easy on me.
I won't hurt your feelings too much.
Too much. Anyway, we're in the middle of. Actually, we're towards the end of summer. If you watch social media, hell, summer's only halfway over, but they act like we're damn near ready for Christmas. School starts in about a week.
Less than a week.
Well, let's not get too excited. So, but yeah, give us some summer highlights. Like what's been good?
A lot of things have been good.
Yeah.
Since we're still kind of on the Taylor Swift topic, we went to Nashville and we stayed in a very cool Taylor Swift themed Airbnb. It's called the Swifty Shangri-La.
It was awesome.
Look it up. It's so cool. It was.
Bro, we burned that town down.
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun, and we went on downtown Nashville. Just walked on what's the road called?
Broadway.
Broadway. Yeah, we went past all the record labels, and we were very surprised to see, like. Big Machine Records was just in like a house. It was not a big like building like all these other things that you picture in your mind whenever you think of a record label.
Multi-million, billion-dollar record labels
like
are in houses.
Taylor Swift used to be signed on Big Machine, and she recorded a lot of her songs in that house, and it's just cool to look by and to see, especially since it's such a well-known record label, but also it's such a small building, like house.
Yeah, we'll talk about this trip. That's one of my favorite trips too. We have such cool experiences. But I said we're gonna do Nashville my way because I've always wanted to do this. Every time I've been to Nashville, a lot of people that really know me know this, but I have a huge music background. We were in a band, Basham Green. We wrote music, we played music, we love music, we play guitars, all the things, right? So when we went down to Nashville, we'd always go with people. And doing Nashville your way, just like the last weekend, we won't talk about it. I just did something by myself, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to go on that trip by yourself because you're dragging 10 people that don't really give a shit about what you were trying to find. So I said, hey, we're going to go down and we're going to go down Music Row. And I want to get in one of those, just see a studio, just see them. Well, we find Music Row, like you said, and it's literally a row of houses, old houses, not fancy houses. And I'm in the construction business. And I'm like, do we want to buy these and flip them? Like, that's what they looked like. Like, nothing sexy about it. And I said, hey, so we found CMT's office building. And I said, there's another, I forget what it was. But anyway, we parked, and I'm looking at my phone trying to figure out where we're at. This lady walks out. And I said, hey, I looked at you. Do you remember what I said to you? I said, this is how you get shit done.
And I was like,
I said, watch.
Like, stop talking to this lady.
So I went there. I said, hey, I'm trying to find, I said, sorry to bother you. I'm trying to find a recording studio. I've got my daughter here. I just wanted to see what it's like give her an idea what it looks like, what it feels like, all the things. And I gave her a business card because I didn't want her to think. I mean, hell, these days, side note, these days people are weird, man. You can't even give. I was at the gym, gave some dude a compliment. He looked at me like I was a fucking alien. I said, dude, I was just giving you a compliment. You can say thanks. You can say, give me something. Just looked at me like people are weird, man. They're weird. It's dumb. But anyway, so I gave her some credentials so she didn't think I was some weird guy. And she looked at you and she says, come with me. So we're going to take you down a story here real quick. And I'm like, this is cool. So we start walking. And this lady was very well put together. Like you could tell she
very
wasn't
fancy, like business lady.
Yes. So we're following her. I look back at Brooklyn. I'm like, this will be interesting. So we walk in and it says University of Belmont. Of course, I know what that is, but you didn't. And we're in Nashville, Tennessee, Vanderbilt College, Belmont's where all the music people go, to learn and run everything you hear. It comes from Belmont usually. I said, I didn't catch your name. And she told me her name. She's like, I'm the dean of Belmont. I said, you got to be shitting me. Like, that's what I said. I was like, oh, wow, cool. So I'm sitting there like, she takes us inside, introduces us to Mike, and she's like, I don't have any time. But she's like, Mike, give him the full tour. And she let us take a selfie. That was the definition of selflessness. That lady's busy. All right. She's running one of the biggest, if not the biggest, musical colleges in the United States. The lady was busy. She came out of that building in a hurry. We had happened to catch her at the right time. She took time for us. And I don't want you to ever forget that because I won't.
I definitely won't.
That still makes the hair on my back of my neck stand up. So anyway, do you want us to tell part of the story? You take it from here.
Yeah. So.
So she leaves us with Mike, the old guy. Mike just takes us.
Very nice guy. Very straight to the point guy. He was very nice. So he takes us upstairs, and they were about to put on a luncheon for some famous writers.
It's for the Hall of Fame, all the living Hall of Fame
country music artists.
Well, all music, not just country.
I thought it was just country.
It's all music. The Hall of Fame, the living writers still left. So yeah.
Yeah. So we walk in this room, and he's just giving us the rundown of like, it was like what kind of hut was it originally?
It's a Quonset hut.
Yeah. So apparently the building used to be a Quonset hut, and he was telling us all about like the manufacturing and what it used to look like and how it was built now. And we were just talking, and then he he pointed to an X on the floor and he said, "Stand on that X." And I stood on it, and he said that's where Patsy Cline wrote her song "Crazy."
Recorded it.
Recorded it, not wrote it. Sorry, but she recorded her song "Crazy," which was super cool.
The song you hear today on the radio is right where that was recorded.
Which is super cool.
In one cut, by the way.
Yeah, apparently she was very like
pissed off.
Yeah,
she was in a bad mood that day. They made her do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But so they kept on talking, and then this man walks in, and we were like, oh, we don't want to like take up any of your time, because people started walking in for that luncheon thing.
Hall of Fame riders.
Yeah, and like Mike was like, oh, hold on, like I want to introduce you to this man. And just a fun fact about myself, I used to be a very cowgirl, you can say. Not, he loves it, but I do not. It scars me. But anyways.
I don't love it. I could do it. That's how I grew up.
My first concert was the Garth Brooks concert. Really good concert. I highly recommend. I don't think he's on tour anymore right now, at least. But I used to be a very big Garth Brooks fan. Still am. I just don't listen to his stuff a lot anymore. But he's a very good writer. So he introduces me to this guy, shake his hand, tell him who I am. Not like he'd know or anything. But, and then he apparently wrote Thunder Rolls and
Unanswered Prayers.
Yeah.
And 2 other Garth Brooks songs.
Yeah, and Thunder Rolls was my favorite song ever. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool, because it is. Like, he wrote a very well-known country song. Like
several of them,
yeah.
Yeah.
And this man was so, like, selfless about it. Like, oh, yeah, I did that, yeah. Like, he was a very laid-back guy. So I thought it was super cool.
What I thought was funny is every time they'd come up to you, and I compliment you on this all the time, very, very beautiful woman, just like your mother. They're like, so you're going to college here this fall? And even Mike says, no, she's only 14. And they're like, what? Like they think that you're ready for college, which is terrifying. I don't like that. But what else? So yeah, the Patsy Cline, that was like insane.
Yeah.
So where did we go after that? Where did he take you after that?
Oh yeah, he took me to this like large room with a piano in the middle of the room. Did not know this at the time, but we walked in the room and he was like, "Do you play piano?" And I was like, "Yeah, I play piano. I'm self-taught. I took lessons for like a month, but I'm mostly self-taught." And he said, "Do you play piano?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he said, like, "Play that piano." So I played the piano, and then I stood up and I was like, "That's like one of the nicest pianos I've ever played, yada, yada, yada." And he said that piano was the piano that Bob Dylan recorded most of his music on. And I was like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, like, because, like, I just basically played where Bob Dylan played, which is amazing because Bob Dylan is an absolute phenomenon because he's an amazing, just everything. So
I teared up when I saw that. I knew it was happening. He told me before you went in. I was like, dude, this is cool. This is so cool. Because this is all, remind everybody, this is all because we had the balls to be a little outgoing.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I want to teach people. Fucking be a little outgoing. This world is not to be set up on a shelf, right?
Yeah.
Extend your hand, introduce yourself, have a little courage. Look what that did for us.
Yeah. And
just
now,
a little courage. The memories we made, I'll never forget them. So then after we did that, I was like, man, we can't overstay our welcome.
Yeah.
I felt really bad, and they were having all these people come in. So he walks us out. You could share. How'd we end that little visit?
So he took us down to the lobby again and was like, we just thanked him for everything that he did because it was very kind of them to allow us to do that because they don't do tours. Like, they aren't a tourist attraction or anything. But we thanked him, and then there was a guitar like in a case on the wall. He opens up the case and then takes it out, and then he gives me a marker and he said, "Sign it," because it was full of signatures and stuff. So we got to sign a guitar of all these people that have signed. Like, there were so many signatures I couldn't even read all.
I never told you this, but did I? I saw about 4 signatures I recognized on there. Did you?
No, I didn't recognize any of them.
Keith Urban.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
He was on there.
Yeah.
And I won't share the rest. That's for us. But yeah, there's definitely some. That was I took a picture. You signed it. It's like, you signed it too, Dad. I'm like, well, I ain't nobody, but he made me sign it too. I signed right under your name. That guitar just went way down in value.
We just like basically vandalized it.
We did. Yeah, so then after that, we left. We still, what we're going to do, we're going to send her this podcast, and we're also going to make a video instead of writing a letter as a thank you. Because I'm still, it's been 2 months.
It's been a couple months.
I'm still blown away by it. I really am.
It was really such a cool experience, like once in a lifetime thing, because it doesn't happen every single day.
And how did it happen? We
because
took a
we
chance.
Were outgoing.
We took a chance.
Or you were outgoing.
No, we took. I'm trying to pave the way. You do the same thing with how you are with your friends and everything. You're kind of a chip off the old block. Don't listen to everybody. That's a good thing. But so after that, we did kind of the tour. It was a Taylor Swift themed thing in Nashville. We went and saw that park bench.
We went to the Country Music Hall of Fame.
Yep, which is kind of underwhelming.
Yeah, a little bit. There was only one Taylor Swift exhibit, but I did get to see Elvis Presley's car.
Oh,
I love Elvis Presley.
You're such a Presley fan.
I love Elvis Presley.
You know what I love about Elvis Presley?
What?
I don't know if I've ever shared this about this to you. Sorry, I can't talk. We don't have editing in here either, so deal with it, people. Is that guy didn't give a shit. For real. He was, oh my gosh, he was a badass. He legit did his thing, and he didn't care. I mean, he was kind. He was giving. He always gave back all the things that you should do, right?
Yeah.
But one thing I'm always trying to teach you kids, and I know you guys get tired of my dad talks, but they'll never end. That's why I'm doing a podcast, by the way. It's because it'll always be here. I hate talking. You know that. I'm not one to sit here and just jab all the time. Wait, what are you looking at me like that for?
This is what you're doing right now.
But that guy, he owned himself. And that's something that we've lost as a society, is a lot of people are too busy pleasing other people. I mean, it's insane. I see people staying married to people because they're afraid of what other people think. I see people not taking that job or not opening that business or not doing that thing that excites them because they're afraid of what other people. Fuck whatever everybody thinks. It's the worst thing you can worry about.
Yeah.
Elvis Presley didn't care.
Yeah,
and look what happened.
And most of the time, he was very, like, I love Elvis Presley. I love his music, and for most of the time, I loved him as a person. But I mean,
he had his demons, though.
Yeah,
we all do.
Yeah, he had severe anger issues. You know.
He did.
Yeah, and he cheated on his wife.
Did he drink? I think he had a drug.
I recently watched the Priscilla movie.
Keep in mind that's a movie, but yeah.
Yeah, but also, you know, Priscilla Presley's still alive, and he's no longer with us because
he died at like 40.
From like a drug overdose or something?
I think so.
It was something like that because we went to Graceland a couple years before that.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, to see his house, that was super cool. That,
dude, the jungle room was like,
that was
my gosh.
It was so cool.
No, the jungle room, and then just that whole little farm. It's not very big, but it's enough.
Yeah,
you know?
It's huge.
And it's so weird knowing that he was there. Like, that was his place. It's kind of eerie to me. But anyway, so let's talk about the Sound of Music. Yeah. That's kind of exciting. So I want you guys to tell everybody let's start with like your passion, because you love music, you love entertaining. The reason you wanted to be on this podcast is because you wanted to see this. Like this truly excited you.
Yeah.
Like to the point where you were pissed at me for at least a month. You were mad.
Yeah, I was pretty mad. You know.
So give us the background. What drives you? Where's this come from? Where are you going with it? Tell us. Give us. Something.
You know, I've recently kind of like figured this out about myself. I necessarily, for the most part, like being in the spotlight, not necessarily like being the center of attention all the time, but I do like to entertain people. I like to be myself, but also like pretend to be other people and share a story. Necessarily not my story, but someone else's story through things in my life, like the talents that God has given me and stuff. So yeah, I've always really liked it. I was not always a theater kid or singing. It's maybe like like 2 years ago. I think ever since I saw Taylor Swift, I was really getting into it, and I think that's how it started. Because whenever I was really little, stage fright clinged to you and Mom's hip.
If you would have told me when you were 5 that you'd be this way at 14, I'd tell you you're crazy. I'm serious. You were the polar opposite of what I thought you were going to be. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
It's amazing. Keep going.
Yeah, but I mean, we were talking about this in the car.
Truck.
My bad. Didn't mean to hurt its feelings. But
see what I mean? You just got it. It comes to you quickly.
But,
I love that.
Whenever I was like 5 or 6, I tried out for a musical, and I remember running out of the audition room because I was so scared. And I left the audition room. I said, "Can I go get my music?" Ran out.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt because this, I have to do this because I can't retain stuff. I'm going to go back to the horse days. And there's just I want to bring up one story. And this should be impactful to you, I think. We were doing a rodeo, and you were riding, I think...
the horse name?
Yeah, the...
Onyx, yeah.
Onyx. And you were doing barrels, and you fell off. And I jumped in the ring immediately. And what did I tell you? Tell me...
Get back on.
No, exactly did I tell you? The exact words I told you.
Get back on that dang horse.
Get your ass back on that horse right now. That's exactly what I told you. And you looked at me because you're getting ready to start crying. I said, get your ass back on that horse right now. And you did. Do you realize what would have happened or what could have happened if we would have coddled you? And, you'd realize what could have happened?
I would not have gone back on, yeah.
Keep that in mind. Tough love, people do that shit for you, right? They don't ever do it because they're mean. I don't want to do it because I'm mean. I know what it takes, though. I know that moment is critical. That moment is probably one of the most critical moments of your life. As little as it sounds and as dumb as it sounds, had we just sat there and, oh, my God, you poor little thing, you'd have been afraid of everything in your life. But if somebody loves you enough, true love is not easy, man. True love is not rainbows and butterflies and flowers. True love is giving it to you straight. Whether you like it or not, because I know what you need. So when I say get your ass back on that horse right now, it's because I love you. Because I'm like, God damn, she has so much potential. If I let that go and we coddle it, it goes right in the ground with her. You can't let that happen. So that's why I do what I do. Love is not smooth. It's not easy. It's not simplistic. It is aggressive. It's something you got to hold on to. You got to work at it every day of your life. That's how it is.
Yeah.
So anyway, we went off on a tangent, but carry on with your story.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I forgot what I was
No, I'm the one that interrupted you. I had a point I wanted to make.
So so my grandpa, he showed this audition to me and was like, hey, you should try
Grandpa
out for
Scott
this.
in
Grandpa
the
Scott.
house.
Shout out.
Yep.
Love him
Best
so much.
Best grandpa ever right there.
He's been my...
Well, there's others. He's just amazing. I love him.
He's my Gruber, or Grandpa Uber, as you call it. Or at least in our house. He's amazing. I love him so much. He's amazing.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
But he texted me this audition and was like, hey, you should try out for this. And so I filled out the thing and I went to the tryouts. Very intimidating because I've never really done it before because the last audition I did, I ran out of the audition room, but I was also like 6. I'm 14 now. But so I tried out. Most of it went well besides the singing part of the audition. Something happened, like they got mixed up or something, and it intimidated me very much. I held it together till I got out of the audition room. I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm not gonna make it. So I didn't get a call back, which I was expecting because I tried out for the lead youth role, which I've never done a musical outside of 1 week summer camp things. So I wasn't expecting to get it or anything. I wasn't even expecting to get into the show. And then whenever the cast list came out, and then I got ensemble, which I was very excited about. I'm a nun, if you are familiar with the sound of music.
More specifically, a postulant.
Yes.
Which I don't even still know what that is. I think that's a nun in training or something.
Yeah, basically. So it's been a very cool experience because there was about 150 people that tried out, and only 45, 40 got into the cast, which was super cool. Very cool experience for me because it kind of gave me kind of an ego boost because I'm like, okay, like I'm actually kind of good. But
hey, the ego's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Egos aren't bad.
But also it can get to you and you can get cocky.
You got to control your ego. Everybody, if you don't have an ego, people, go get you one. Seriously. They don't sell them at Walmart. They don't sell them at on Amazon. It comes from within. Go get you a freaking ego. All right?
Yeah.
Egos are not bad. Egos are not evil. Egos are necessary. We all have them. You got to control it. You got to know how to use it. We all got an ego, and that's good. It's good that you know that.
Yeah.
It's important.
Yeah, as long as you know how to control it, because sometimes it gets to people.
There's a difference between being confident and cocky. Right?
There's a very fine line.
I've talked to you 1,000 times about that, and Bo too. But anyway, we won't go into that.
Yeah. So basically, it was the production is amazing. Everyone in the cast has done such a good job. The director has cast very well. But the director, amazing guy. He's so nice. And just everyone has made this possible. It takes so much work to entertain people and to necessarily like put on a really good production. And we have gotten so many compliments. We're only through the first weekend. Second weekend starts today. So we have gotten very many compliments. Almost every show is sold out, which is amazing because
that's hard to do.
Yeah, it's very hard to do.
Yeah.
And it pays off to do shows that people know instead of like these underground shows because people don't know what it is. But if you do like a huge like show that everyone knows, hence the Sound of Music or like, you know, something that everyone knows, it's going to get a lot of people to come and make like the production money so that they can do smaller productions that maybe they want to promote or anything. But yeah, I've watched it. So it's ran 3 times last weekend. I watched twice, 2 of the 3 times. I get to watch it Saturday, and it gets better. It keeps getting better. The cool part about seeing it time and time again is you do get to see the progression of it. And Todd has done a wonderful job. I don't know. I mean, hats off to him and his staff or whatever you call it. Yeah.
Because that's a lot of logistics. You took me down there you were getting fitted or something.
Yeah, I was getting fitted for a dress.
And I'm like, man, you got 40 people. It's just like
it's organized chaos.
It really is. It really is. I'm impressed. I don't know how that works. I've never seen it. How calm they are, how collected they are, and you all are. I mean, there's mistakes. You can see mistakes. They're dumb little things. Most people, but you guys just roll on, and I love that. I love that. One thing I admire so many things about you is you've got an audition tomorrow for another musical, and you're not even done with your first one. Tell us about that.
So yeah, it's tomorrow. It's for Mean Girls, which is my favorite movie and musical. It's one of my definite favorites. It was actually for the same business as the one that I ran out on whenever I was 6.
Are you going to have like PTSD, whatever that shit is?
PTSD?
Yeah, that.
I don't think so, but I've never been to this place before, or not really necessarily that I can comprehend or anything. So, I mean, I haven't really prepared a lot, but, you know, just we're going to wing it, see what happens. I mean, I've pretty much done all that I can do, and we just have to see what they're looking for.
Yeah.
So it's all about what they're looking for.
So you got to walk in there. I mean, you got to have self-confidence and know your worth, right? And know all your skills. And we're not all perfect, but you got to walk in there with a little bit of confidence, you know, knowing that, hey, I'm going to give you my best. And if it ain't good enough for this show, that's fine. But you got to walk out there knowing you left it all on the field or on the table or on the stage or whatever you want to call it. And that's something I've known that you struggled with about 2 years ago. And I'm going to call it every 6 months, I've noticed a lot of, man, this girl's she's progressing in chunks. I'm not saying a little bit. I'm like, there's noticeable difference every 6 months. It's like getting better and better. And I'm freaking proud of that. That's cool. There was a time we were sitting around the dinner table And so you won't get, I tell you this all the time, you're not going to understand this till you're in my shoes. And I'll probably be dead and gone. But you'll look back and be like, man, that guy was right. There are things you're doing on your own that you're already getting it. Like a lot of these kids are so wrapped up in TikTok and they're so wrapped up in how many likes we can get and all the bullshit that doesn't matter. The reality is, out of 100 people, about 3 people really fucking care about you. That's the truth. I'm not raising kids in fairyland. The reality is that's the truth, right? I know that. I know when I walk out in this town, there ain't a whole lot of people that like me, and I'm fine with that because I know who I am. There's not one motherfucker in this town that can tell me any different. I could walk in a room full of people that hate me and be the most confident guy that you've ever seen because I know who I am, right? So you've already adopted that. You're already using it. You shared a story that you were in a circle with a bunch of friends and they were starting to talk crap and go down, and you on your own distanced yourself. Tell me about that a little bit.
So
don't name names.
like the
Copyrights.
most recent one.
Yeah.
Okay. So this girl, again, not going to name any names, posted a TikTok. She was talking bad about a friend group that I was in, and she said something directly about me and this one other girl, which, I mean, I don't care because necessarily, like, I know it's not true because, again, I know who I am, and, but she was saying stuff, and then she would apologize for it, then immediately think that, like, we're good again, and then do it again. It was just basically a big circle of, oh, I'm sorry, and then do it again, then I'm sorry, you know.
Repetitive drama.
Yeah, so she posted a TikTok basically, like, just calling everyone out on it. And one of my friends, again, not going to name names, commented on it and was like, oh, this is, like, how lovely, like, being petty, you know? And, I mean, like, I'm not going to say anything about it because it's really none of my business. But, so she was like, they were back and forth, you know, and then my friend that originally commented brought me into it and was like, oh, you really hurt her feelings, like she never deserved it. And I'm like, I'm not bringing her into this, but, like, she kind of was. She was really bringing me into it, even though she said that she wasn't, but she really was. And, I mean, I'm not mad at her for it in any way. She knows that I don't agree with her bringing me into it or anything, and she apologized for it. But she, you know, kind of wrote me into it, and I wasn't hurt by it. I wasn't upset about it. I didn't do anything to get myself into it. I was just brought into it because I've been trying to keep it out of my hair because it just causes way too much drama and people to spread more rumors, and it's just, yeah.
Who said this comment? Trash will take itself out. Who said that? Taylor Swift. Are you in a Swiftie? Are you in a Swift? You not remember her saying that? Trash takes itself out. Yeah, that's a real statement. You know what's funny, not in a humor way, but, like, not too long ago, I got a DM or whatever you call it from a parent, and your mom did too, and again, not naming names. It blows my mind. It absolutely blows my mind that we've got literally childish parents raising kids. It's unbelievable. Off of a rumor that you hear from a frickin' 13-year-old kid. Then they just magnify it and blow it up and make accusations. You know what fire needs to burn? Fucking oxygen. So you don't give it. That's the secret. It's the secret to all that shit. I don't give it any oxygen. You want to be that way? Be that way. I know the truth, know who I am, know my values, know my self-worth, know all that shit, man. That ain't shit. Nobody can take that from you. You realize that? Once you learn this and you're 14 years old, you're already a light years ahead of me. Once you learn this shit, nobody can take it away from you. Nobody. Not me, not your mom, not your friends, nobody. I could start from fucking ground zero today. and I could literally be back to wherever I want to go. There's not a person that could take that from me but God. And that's what I'm teaching you guys. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's what you're learning because you're doing it on your own. When you share these stories with me, I'm like, she's getting it on her own. And I cannot wait. We're going to have another podcast probably mid-school year. Mm-hmm. And we're going to touch back on this because this is why I'm doing this podcast. Mm-hmm. It's for stuff like this. You know, it's not really to hear myself talk. It's not about Basham Construction. It's not about any of that shit. It's about making people better. Mm-hmm. And people finding their worth, their self-confidence, and then seeing how they grow. And then, my God, you get to see people flower. And then guess what you have to do? There is a payment plan for this. Do you know what it is? Mm-mm. You got to bring people up with you. So I've told you that I've cut some people out of my life intentionally, right? Mm-hmm. And it wasn't because I don't think I'm better than them. It doesn't mean any of that shit. It's that I'm tired of going down. I want to go up. I want to get better. In order to be a leader, it's probably the loneliest job you'll ever have. Trust me, I'm living it. I live on an island every fucking day. But people are starting to come to me. They're starting to meet me here, right? Again, I don't think I'm any better than anybody else. Matter of fact, I know I'm not. But I'm not settling for fucking mediocrity anymore. I can't settle for mediocrity anymore. All the people that's poured all their time and energy and belief and trust in me, I owe it to them. I absolutely owe it to them to be better. Mm-hmm. I have no choice. Otherwise, it's a slap in the face to them. So to be a leader, which is what you're doing, prepare to be lonely. Because you do not have people beside you. Not very many. I'll always be there. You know that. But you got to have thick skin on the darkest days because you're going to have them. You got to believe in yourself. You got to motivate yourself. You got to find that inner strength in yourself and get through that shit every day. It's an everyday battle. You take one day off, you're one day behind. That's just how it is. Mm-hmm. So, well, we've been jabbing for about 47 minutes and 13 seconds ish. Anything else you want to say? Why we wrap this thing up? Any words of wisdom? Anything? Talk about anything.
I mean, not necessarily, but kind of like back to what you were saying. I don't know if me personally, I agree with being alone and, you know, being like the only person going through this because you're not. It's really, and also I feel that there's mediocre people, but also you can help those people be above mediocre. Sure. You can't just abandon them.
No.
Because then they're always going to be mediocre.
That's not what I'm saying. I know what you're saying. Carry on.
But that's kind of what I heard.
Yeah.
But it's not like pushing all these people aside. And because I don't do that. I don't care if you do that, but I don't do that.
Right.
Because friendships are very, I guess, important to me. Mm-hmm. And I don't have to have like a lot of friends or anything.
Sure.
But I always have like people there for me like you, but also there's people, they aren't going to have all the same opinions as me, and that's okay because it's America. It's
I would
free
hope
will.
not, yeah.
Yeah, and if something really that strongly, like someone's opinion really does affect me, then I'm not going to say that their opinion's wrong or anything because there's reasons on both sides. Like, this is wrong, but, I mean, there's also things that are right about it, but nothing's always completely 100% right.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Yeah. And I'm 46, and you're 14, and you're a 14-year-old girl, and I'm a 46-year-old, as you said, middle-aged man. Mm-hmm. So I've seen some shit, and that doesn't mean I'm always right. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, I'm probably more wrong than I'm ever right. Mm-hmm. But I do know enough what it takes to lead that. Mm-hmm. And it's not the way that I do it. I don't want you doing it the way I do it. I don't want anybody doing it the way I do it. I listen to Andy Frisell, The Real AF. That's my favorite podcast of all time. It always will be. And that guy, I'm not trying to be like him at all, but I register with that guy. He talks to us like we're being coached in football. He gives it to you straight. I love it when people tell me literally how it is. Don't sugarcoat it because old fat boy will eat that too, right? Don't sugarcoat that. Give it to me straight, which is what you do. Yeah. And I applaud that. It takes guts to do that. It takes guts to stand up to me. Mm-hmm. And you do it all the time. And I'm proud of you for that.
Thank you.
So don't change. There's only one Brooklynn Basham. Don't ever forget that. So I don't want anybody else to be like me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why? Be yourself. Everybody, be yourself. Be weird. Be fun. Be cool. Be a pain in the ass. Be needy. Be whatever you want to be, but be you. You know what I mean? Why are we pretending? Don't just because I may not agree with it doesn't mean we can't still be friends, right?
Exactly.
Where the hell did that go? 10 years ago, we could disagree about everything and still be friends. Now we got to be a political party. The hell with that. We're the laughing stock of this world right now. I mean, there's nothing to be proud of. So, yeah, I appreciate your honesty and your guts to stand up to me because that is super important to our relationship and something I don't take for granted. So, anything else you want to talk about? You want to wrap this thing up?
I don't know. Have you checked the list?
Oh, the list.
I feel like there's something else on there.
Let's see here. Drama. I think we nailed all that, didn't we?
Yeah.
I mean, is there anything you want to talk about? Let's talk 5 more minutes. You're going to be a freshman in high school, and you know Cooper, my best friend. We always laugh on social media. Like we will literally screenshot it and send it to people. They have these moms say little Johnny's turning 5. Oh my gosh, what's happening? How did this happen? He's turning 5, so I'll screenshot that. I'll send it to Cooper, and I'll say this. Well, lady, 5 years, 9 months ago, you did something, and here we are. Like, why are you surprised? Like, we make fun of it. It's so
not rocket science.
I know, but from a dude's perspective, we make fun of it. But what are you looking most forward to?
Definitely like the freedom because I honestly...
You're a free spirit, man.
I honestly hated middle school. It's such an awkward place in life.
Why?
Well, it's middle school. It's mid, you know?
It's mid?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But also everyone's like trying to find who they are. And
low key.
It's high key, yeah.
High key?
Yeah. Because people, like, some of these kids are fresh out of elementary school because I was there too, and I was a very awkward kid. I still feel like I am a little bit, but I'm starting to emerge from that, you know? But I just didn't like it. Everything about it was just so...
Mid?
I didn't like it. I hated it. I hated it. I 6th grade was a good year. 7th grade was a decent year. Then 8th grade was just ready to
What
get
makes
out.
you think, or I guess you're going into high school, so you're like the low man on the totem pole again.
Yeah. And, like, I get, like, because I used to make fun of all the 6th graders, which isn't necessarily right because they can't help how old they are. Whenever they were born.
Put that on a T-shirt.
You know, yeah, but now that I'm, you know, back at the bottom of the food chain, you know, I also couldn't help whenever I was born, you know. It doesn't work like that. And I feel like everyone's starting to mature, but also I feel like the juniors and seniors, like they could really carry out less, but like the sophomores, they're fresh out of freshman year. So they're like, oh, look at these freshmen.
Fresh out the slammer. Oh,
yeah.
He sings it.
Taylor Swift.
Yep. So I don't know, man. You and Bo being freshmen, I don't know what to expect. I really don't.
Me neither.
Because every time Bo would start a new school year, something would go wrong with him. He'd create some sort of crap. I hope that didn't happen again. But
I think it'll be a fresh start, you know.
yeah, it's going to be a big adjustment. I'm excited for you. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. But here's the reality. Nothing changes. Nothing changes.
Yeah.
It's just another step. Every year, every season, so to speak, is going to have challenges. So that's one thing that you've already learned. And going back to like your peers, and so, you know, I'm not comparing to other kids, but we ain't raising wimps, man. We ain't raising quitters, and we're not raising people that get in the cesspool of drama either. You know, get in there, get your work done. You have a job to do. You got to get A's and B's. That is the minimum, right? That's what we set for a standard. A, B's is a standard. You know, straight A's, that's something to be excited about. That's how it is in our house. You know, we don't settle for mediocrity. C's and D's are not acceptable. You have a job to do. I have a job to do. Every day I get up, I tell myself we're starving to death. That's the gospel. My fucking feet hit the floor, that's what I tell myself. To this day. So when I get on Bo and you, like, that's your job to get good grades in school. Mm-hmm. Now, we've talked about, is school everything? No, it's not. It's not everything. I mean, they'll tell you that. They want you to be in school. They want you to go through the school system, all that stuff to get ready for the workforce. And then the government can frickin' manipulate you, all that shit. It's such horse shit. I could go on for days about it, but I won't. What I'm telling you guys about school is the reason you need to get A's and B's as a standard is that is a mindset thing. That shows me as an employer, if I was to hire you, because I get people that come at me every frickin' week for jobs, and they can't show me any proof of who they are, right? Like, not physically who they are, but what are you capable of? Mm-hmm. If you can get A's and B's, and you can get through school, and you can get through your full schedule of all your musicals, sporting events, all that stuff, and you can still maintain a 3.5 and up GPA. Is that a GPA? Yeah. Grade point average? Yeah, thank you. Yeah. That tells me that you've got what it takes to persevere through shit. Mm-hmm. I don't care if you know calculus. I don't care if you know Spanish. I don't care if you know all that crap. But what I do care about is how much can you get through in a day? How much can you put up with, and how much can you wade through and still fucking win? Mm-hmm. That's what I care about. College could care less if you go to college. Matter of fact, I don't want you to go to college.
Why?
Because I think it's overrated. I do. Unless you're going to be a doctor, I think it's overrated. You don't need it.
It depends on the situation.
Yeah, fair. But I can tell you one thing. You don't need it to be successful. You need this mindset, and you need all that stuff we've been talking about, mm-hmm. and you can do literally anything you want. Anything you want. And that is what we're going to end on. I love you, babe. You're my favorite. Keep kicking ass. Have a good day, everybody.